No matter what happens with the remainder of the 2019-20 NHL season, I still had a lot of fun watching games this year, and this season I definitely watched more hockey than I ever have before. A big reason why is because I want to make the best NHL videos possible, and in order to be knowledgeable about all 31 NHL teams, I have to watch a lot of games, and on top of that, I just had a lot of fun watching these games. So for today's video, I kind of wanted to go over my favorite moments from the 2019-20 NHL season, whether it was an entire game, whether it was a moment from a game. I thought a video like this would be a lot of fun. Of course, these are just my opinions. One of my favorite moments you could have not cared less about. So make sure to let me know what your favorite moments were down in the comment section below. And of course, if you guys are new and you want to see more NHL content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And now let's jump right into it. Beginning the video with Anthony Mantha's 4-goal game. This is probably one of your favorite moments if you are a Red Wings fan. This was Detroit's home opener, the second game of the season, and this came after a road victory to open the year against the Nashville Predators, so you could bet it had me pretty pumped for the remainder of the year. Unfortunately, we all know how that turned out, but still, this was definitely my favorite moment of the year when it came to the Red Wings. Mantha scored all 4 of Detroit's goals in the 4-3 victory. I was super pumped, and Mantha definitely had a really good season. Unfortunately, it was plagued with injury, but still, he had the highest goals per game and points per game of his young career so far. And yeah, I'm a Red Wings fan, so I had to have at least one Red Wings moment in the video, and there really wasn't too much to choose from, so this one was definitely far and away my favorite. Next up, we have Aleksander Ovechkin hitting 700 goals. I knew whenever it happened, it was gonna be a pretty special moment, and it definitely was really cool to watch. Even though it was on the road in New Jersey, the crowd still gave him a standing ovation, which was really nice to see. In doing this, Aleksander Ovechkin joined a pretty exclusive club with the likes of Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, Jaromir Jagr, Brett Hull, Marcel Dion, Phil Esposito, and Mike Gartner. Currently sitting at 706 career goals, that puts Ovechkin 188 behind Wayne Gretzky's all-time record. This pause in the season definitely could make things a little bit more difficult, but I still think he can do it, and I'm definitely still rooting for him. I've said multiple times before, I think Ovi's the greatest goal scorer of all time. Moving on now, we have the Leafs versus Canes on December 23rd of 2019. No, this was not the David Ayres game. It was the Maple Leafs' incredible third period comeback game. Overall, this entire game was just a joy to watch. If you're a fan of either of these teams, this game was definitely an emotional roller coaster for you. The Leafs had an early 3-0 lead, then gave up 5 goals in a row, eventually found themselves down 6-4 heading into the third period, and then in the third scored 4 unanswered to eventually win the game 8-6. There was just so much really good young talent on display in this game. You had Matthews, Marner, and Nylander for the Leafs. Marner had an amazing third period. You had Aho, Teravainen, and Sveshnikov and net shots for the Carolina Hurricanes. If you weren't able to catch this game, then you definitely missed out, but I strongly suggest you go and watch the highlights. You can definitely find them on YouTube. Sticking with the theme of Leafs versus Canes, now we have the David Ayres game. This was definitely far and away one of my favorite moments of the season. It was just so incredible to watch and such a feel-good story. The Zamboni driver of the Toronto Marlies, which is the Leafs AHL affiliate, gets called into net as an emergency backup for Carolina and becomes the first emergency backup goaltender to record a win. And before you all go down to the comment section saying Scott Foster was not credited with the win. Yes, Chicago did win that game, but Foster wasn't credited with the win where David Ayres actually was. No matter what team you're a fan of, you were most likely watching this game. As soon as I found out that there was an emergency backup goaltender going in net, I know I stopped whatever else I was watching and gave this game my full attention. It was really incredible to watch. And literally for like a week after this game happened, David Ayres was on top of the world. Talk shows, Carolina flew him out to a game. The stick he used in the game that he won is actually now in the Hockey Hall of Fame, which is pretty insane. Next up, we have Ayres SVeshnikov's lacrosse goals, since he did it twice, or Michigan goals, whatever you want to call it. And now I'm noticing this is actually my third moment involving Carolina in a row. I guess they were a pretty exciting team to watch this season. And watching this game live, seeing this move get pulled off was definitely pretty insane. It's been around for a long time, and it's something that a lot of us probably practiced as a kid, and every so often we would see videos surface on SportsCenter on Twitter of kids pulling this off in minor hockey, but it took a long time for somebody to finally pull this off in a game. It's such a high degree of difficulty, so many things have to go right for this move to be pulled off, so it makes it even more impressive that he was actually able to do it twice in the same season, as he also did it later against the Winnipeg Jets. Having watched a lot of Canes games this year, Ayres SVeshnikov quickly became one of my favorite players in the NHL. he's just so exciting to watch. The Battle of Alberta is alive and well. This is kind of a couple moments sprinkled into one. It's pretty much every game these two teams played against each other this season. Just so entertaining to watch as a fan from another team, just kind of on the outside looking in. Games between these two teams this season really had it all. They were entertaining to watch in terms of the hockey, but there was brawls, there was obviously the beef between Micahs and Zach Kassian. There was even a goalie fight, and that is something you really don't see too often in today's NHL. I know the NHL as a whole probably didn't like games between these two teams, but us fans, we definitely loved it. And it sucks the season got postponed because these two teams were scheduled to play on the final day of the regular season. And also, as the standings currently sit, the Flames are third in the division while Edmonton is number 2. That means they would have matched up in the first round of the playoffs, and could you imagine how insane that series would be? The final moment we're going to talk about in today's video, Micahs Advantage's 5-goal game. I would say this was probably my favorite moment of the entire season. Micahs Advantage really broke out this year and became a star, and I feel like this performance really kind of just put a cherry on top of that. And it's not like he scored 5 goals in a blowout win by the New York Rangers. They needed all 5 of those goals considering the final one actually came in overtime. Everything about this game was just super exciting. A young up-and-coming team like the New York Rangers playing against a powerhouse like Washington. It happened on home ice for the Rangers, that home building being Madison Square Garden, which is like the most iconic arena in the entire world. The building was electric. Everybody was loving it, probably except for Washington Capitals fans. And funny enough, the person I was playing against in fantasy hockey that week actually had Micahs Advantage on his team. So that 5-goal game really hurt my fantasy team, but still I had a lot of fun watching this game. And shout out to Micahs Advantage, who actually led the NHL in goals per game this year. That is going to do it for today's video. I really hope you guys did enjoy. Again, these were just some of my personal favorites, so make sure to let me know what yours were down in the comment section. I know this was a relatively short video, but I still thought it would be pretty fun to make, and I thought it would be something that you guys enjoyed. So if you did enjoy it, make sure to go down there and drop a like on it. And of course, if you guys have not already, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more NHL videos like this. And with all that being said, I will see you all in the next one.